What's up, guys? Barney here, aka Typhoon Moon. I'm bringing you a little bit of a real talk today. I think I'm going to talk to you about my musical history and sort of how I've got to the position I am in now, and how music sort of influences my life and how it has sort of shaped the person I am. Because it definitely is a big part of my life. So I'll probably just go in chronological order here and start out when I was young and work my way forward. So when I was about 6 or 7, my mum and my grandparents decided that it was important for me to have an eclectic education. And for those of you who don't know what eclectic means, it means broad, so learning about everything. So they took me to all kinds of classical music concerts and bought me CDs, and obviously I had a radio in my room, which meant I could listen to modern music as well as classical and all kinds of stuff. So that sort of developed my enthusiasm for music, so to speak. And also, I think it's probably what shaped my eclectic taste in music, because I like virtually every kind of music. And so I think that influence at a young age definitely meant that I had a taste for more than just a specific genre of music, which is quite nice. I quite enjoyed listening to a bit of variety now and then. But about the age of 8, 9, 10 maybe, I was at home by myself when my mum and my grandma came back from this show in London, which was like an ideal home show, I think it was called, and it basically like had exhibits with like things that you could buy to put in your house that were really nice. And they came back with this massive box, and it turned out to be a full-size electric piano for me to learn on. So I played around on that for a little bit and decided that I would quite like lessons. So my grandparents took me for lessons with this person that they had been recommended to. He was, you could tell very much that he was a classic sort of music teacher, kind of strict, classical only, none of this modern rubbish. And he taught me all the basics that I needed to know, and sort of got me to learn how to practice properly and all that kind of thing, which was really good. So he basically taught me the fundamentals of music and like how to read music. Especially that was the thing that he taught me, which was probably the most important, how to read music and how to practice properly. And unfortunately, after about a year with him, after I'd done my first grade on the piano, I moved to the Midlands from where I was living before, which was just outside London. And after settling in, I had to go find a new teacher. So I eventually found, excuse me, this very nice guy who was very, very camp. I can remember the room where I had lessons in was bright pink, which was kind of fun. So yeah, I found a new teacher who was he specialised in jazz piano, and he taught me a lot of stuff about sort of how to improvise. He taught me loads of music theory, which I'm using now in my A-levels, because I'm studying A-level music now. And he just added on to what I had learnt before. And these lessons were about half an hour every week. And I don't think I would have needed any more than that, because spending more than half an hour, you kind of get complacent within the lesson. But yeah, eventually after I spent about two or 3 years learning with him, and then decided that piano wasn't really that cool, and I decided to, as most pubescent teenagers do, learn the guitar. For what reason, you may ask? What reason does most teenagers learn the guitar? To get girls, obviously. And so one Christmas, me and my brother both got a guitar each. I got an acoustic and he got an electric. And I still have my first acoustic. It's very nice. It's black and shiny and amazing. But so I got an acoustic guitar for Christmas and proceeded to teach myself all the basic stuff. So chords, how to read crib sheets, all that kind of stuff. How to read tabs, how to do strumming, all that kind of thing. Taught myself all of that. So when I eventually got my first lesson, I was well ahead and didn't have to learn all the basics. So I was like 6 weeks ahead of what they were going to teach me in like the first couple of lessons. So I started having lessons with my guitar teacher for about a year. He taught me sort of how to improvise, how to on the guitar, how to use scales to improvise. It was really cool learning some Hendrix and stuff like that. And eventually I decided I wanted to try something different with the guitar as well. So I decided that if I was going to play guitar, why not try and sing as well? So I can remember how old will I have been then? Probably, I think I was about 15, and we were asked in my music class at school to put something together to perform at the end of the year, and that was the first time that I ever performed playing my guitar and singing to an audience, and I can safely say everyone was pretty surprised when I did, and it was a good feeling to break out of my mold a little bit and do something different. And that's kind of what I've been doing since then, is trying to break out of my comfort zone and try and expand my horizons. So after learning guitar for another year, this was after I started doing some singing, I decided that, well, I was offered to continue learning guitar but do learn the classical side of it rather than just the rhythm side of it, because I do quite a lot of rhythm guitar. So learn like the soloing stuff, and I was like, it's kind of tempting. So I started doing that for about a few months, and then I decided that it wasn't really for me, so I stopped having lessons for guitar and decided that I wanted to have lessons for singing, which lasted all of 8 months, my singing lessons, because the teacher I had was kind of disorganised. The place she worked for, which was like a music academy, was really not up to scratch with what I wanted. So I did some music theory, some singing theory there, and did a grade 5, I think. I did grade 5 when I started, and then just stopped. But I think that was quite helpful as well in terms of perfecting the way I sing and improving my technique, because my technique before I had lessons was kind of bad. It was kind of like pushing it out my throat, and obviously it would have ruined my voice over time if I hadn't have had lessons which taught me how to sing properly. And whilst I was having singing lessons, there was a course running at my school, which was the music performance course, which was one of the optional things you could do. Those things like Latin and creative writing. I was like, fuck that, I want to do music. So the task was to put on a concert for that particular module in the course. So I formed a band with a couple of my friends, and we are still together to this day. We write our own music and stuff like that, and that was really my first kind of experience in performing in a group with an instrument, because piano, unless you're really good, is not really an instrument you play in a group. And so it was the first kind of experience I had working with a group, gelling with a group, and that was really, if you're a musician and you're wanting to get better, then definitely go and play in a group, because you have to do so much more than just playing by yourself. You have to listen to what everyone else is doing, keep in time with everyone. It will make you such a better player if you play in a group. So if you're attempting to learn say guitar now, go join a guitar group, try and join a band, something like that, because that's just, in my opinion, it's probably the best way to just learn how to play. Well, not to learn how to play, but definitely to improve. And from that kind of confidence that I gained from doing that concert in front of, like, I think it was about 200 people, I moved on to do a bit of amateur acting at my school. I starred in Oliver. I was Mr. Bumble. I had to wear a fat suit. It was hilarious, but absolutely boiling. We did it in the middle of summer when it was about 28 degrees, and I was in a fat suit on stage with stage lights. The stage, I think we measured it, I think it was 35 degrees on stage, and then I was in a fat suit on top of that, so that was fun. But that definitely brought me out of my comfort zone, and I'm glad I did that, because it was definitely an eye-opening experience. Anyway, guys, that is pretty much it. for my real talk. I think that music is very important. It's definitely a big part of my life, and if you haven't learnt an instrument, I really suggest you try, because it's just something that makes for something great to do in your spare time. And it's just, if you've got spare time and a bit of spare money to go buy an instrument, go for it. Anyway, guys, I am going to go and have a sleep now because I'm not feeling that great. So I will see you guys in a bit. Bye.